Nothing beats stargazing on a cold winter's night. But I guess it isn't winter anymore. It sure feels like winter. It is kind of cold outside, but the stars are just bright tonight. Just radiant. Uh, it almost makes me want to go to the merry-go-round and hop on the merry-go-round and start the start the sky spinning so I can enjoy the kaleidoscope of dreams that I see in the heavens. One of my favorite poems that I wrote was about being on a merry-go-round and looking up at the stars and enjoying the starlight and making the world a better place by just shoving the merry-go-round and spinning it around and turning the heavens above into a kaleidoscope of dreams. And what? What the heck? Oh, yeah. Check signal cable. It is indeed April Fool's Day, and I am not outside. I am not stargazing. I was outside recently, and the stars are out. I was just curious to see if they were. So, in a way, I guess I'm telling the truth, and it is cold outside too. But it is April Fool's Day, and instead of being outside and stargazing, I decided, because I was so inspired, to turn on my television set and once again view the White Labyrinth. The White Labyrinth are these pixels that keep popping up, kind of like pimples. I think I have a pimple right here on my forehead, but these little white pimples keep popping up on my television screen. When I first put it down here in the basement, some months ago, there were 13 white pimples on my television screen, but now there are well over 60. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I have probably the most interesting and most unique television in the world, and you can even see the pixels from this far away. That is one pixelated television. A lot of times I film these videos right at the stroke of midnight. As soon as midnight strikes, I film this video. And I was thinking about doing that, but for some reason, right at the stroke of midnight, one of my friends, who I've mentioned in videos before, dropped me a note. And I started out speaking by saying, "Happy midnight, my dear foolish girl. You going to let someone pull the wool over your eyes on this most auspicious day?" And that happened right at 12 midnight, right at the stroke of midnight. And then this young lady, whose name is Renee, said, "Hey, Gur, I miss you." And even though it is April Fool's Day, I do believe with all sincerity in my heart that she was sincere when she said that, because I've missed that girl more than I can possibly put into words. How much do I miss this young lady? Well, I know I have a habit of finding cigarette packages on my trips and writing letters to try to make the world a better place. And in fact, I wrote the first camel letter to my friend Mr. Bill today at work. But I do have plenty left over. And one of these is going to be translated not into a letter, but into 10 pages of a letter in progress. And that letter is going to this young lady, Renee, who I call schoolgirl. She's in college, becoming a writer, and I can tell just from the writings that she sent me and she shared with me that she is going to leave a mark on the world, and she's going to make the world a better place with her art and her craft. So I have this little letter in progress for her, and even though I don't talk to her near as much as I used to when we first met, she was the lady that I made cupcakes for because she was feeling blue. And I still regret, and I will always regret not making blue velvet cupcakes instead of red velvet cupcakes. But this is page 1 of the letter, and not too long ago, there's me with a sunburn and a very bright sunburn on my bald spot on my head. This is page 56. So 56. And what page is this? 54. They're kind of out of order here. I want to see what's the latest page I have in this big, monstrous letter that's getting to be about the size of a phone book. Now this one doesn't have a number, but I think this is the last page so far, because there's 59, and if this is page 60, oh, no, there's 61, so it goes on. 62, 63, 64, 65, so that's a 130-page letter. I really need to get these pages in order, but I don't plan on sending that letter. Not for a long time. It might be 1,000 pages by the time it's done. What can I say? This young lady inspired me, and every time I turn on this television set right there and see those white dots, I'm inspired. I think The White Labyrinth is going to be a beautiful poem, and I don't know if it'll make the world a better place, but I hope that the young lady that inspired it feels good about herself and thinks that she has contributed something to society by giving her gift to me. The words that she's written me are been quite amazing, But anyway, in the spirit of April Fool's Day, we talked a little bit on Skype, but her computer was giving her some trouble. So I left her probably one of the most insidious and mischievous messages that you could tell someone on April Fool's Day. I said, one of the most clever things that a man can say to a woman on April Fool's Day is that I love you. Today, April Fool's Day, everybody's going to go out of their way to try to trick people. How I did with the White Labyrinth. I mean, some people who saw this probably would assume that, yes, indeed, I was taking film of the sky and the stars in the sky. No, that was a trick. That was a lie. And a lot of people will think of some very, very clever things to do today to try to trick people and try to fool people. And I guess that's okay. It's all in fun. I try to be a man that never lies. But I lied to the world by pointing my camera at my television and saying that it was indeed stars in the sky, and it wasn't. But see that? Oh crap! It is April Fool's. So saying I love you on April Fool's Day, is that maybe the biggest act of cowardice a man could make? Could be. Because if I had the ability to erase any one lie that is ever told over and over and over and over again, it is I love you when it's not true. I mean, how much pain, how much suffering, how much agony, how much time is lost by someone saying the words I love you to someone and it not being true. So, am I April fooling Miss Renee by saying, because I did say in my message that I do love her, and saying I love you is easy, but showing it isn't. And I'm hoping that when she reads this phone book, and it is a phone book, when it's done, it's gonna be a phone book. I hope she sees that as a gesture of love, because that's what it's meant to be. So you gotta tell people that you love them. It's just a good thing, but you gotta show people that you love them, and I think that's even more important. So, all right. I hope everybody out there has fun. Hope everybody has a good April Fool's joke up their sleeve. But the next time you think about saying I love you to someone and you don't mean it, please don't. Please don't. And I can firsthand, yes, that it really, really does not make the world a better place when you say I love you and you don't mean it.